So last week, I did this article that was out of the UK where this childless man was speaking about the unspoken grief. And like this person says, let's keep that grief unspoken. No, I don't really feel like that, but I thought it was kind of funny how this is called the unspoken grief of childless men, and we're talking about it. Anywho, I want to have a conversation because there was a Reddit thread on this. Hold, please. This Am I the A-hole thread is wild, y'all. This is wild. This man says, am I the a-hole for changing my mind about kids at 57 and leaving my girlfriend because of it? I just turned 57 in early August, and my ex-girlfriend just turned 55 a few days ago. We were together 25 years before I called it quits 2 weeks ago. When my ex and I got together, she was a self-described open-minded person who, unlike other women I dated, did not start pulling my arm on the marriage issue after we passed the 1-year mark. She had a mom who grew up in Sweden where couples would live together, have children, but never marry. She was always on the fence about children. However, I did not want children because at the time I was thinking about how much I was willing to sacrifice to start a business and how I'd resent my kids for getting in the way of that. We argued over this, went to counseling over this. Our arguments were interrupted by the fact that my startup costs led us to having to sell plasma in order to survive. So, to recap this page before I move on, he did not want children. He did not want to sacrifice for children. Then it was like we woke up one day and my girlfriend was 39 and I was 41 and the money finally started coming in. I felt like my girlfriend did not want to rock the boat at that point, and we just wanted to enjoy the money. We traveled the world. She quit her job to volunteer for a charity. I got involved in causes too. However, I am in my late 50s now, and I think in the back of my mind, it never registered that the door to having biological kids was closed forever. But it hit home when my girlfriend, sort of in a blase way, said, well, that's the end of phantom pregnancies for me when she found out she was menopausal at 53. So before we move forward, she quit her job. She has no income. She has no social security. She has no retirement at this particular point in her mid 50s. And now he's like, oh, snap, I forgot to do something. That just goes to show you how they have absolutely no foresight. Like literally all of us change, our bodies all completely change. Why is it so hard for them to okay, never okay. So she's menopausal at 53. Since then, I've been in an internal crisis because everything about my life has gotten old. My life felt empty. I had worked through the emotional issues that prevented me from wanting kids, and now I desperately wanted a family. My doctor told me I wouldn't be the first older father. What is worse is that a lot of once divorced friends who are also in their 50s have easily had healthy, happy children, and finally the time and money to devote to them. I felt I was in a place where I appreciated the children, could provide for them, and would never take the mom of my children for granted, always seeing her as beautiful, unlike the guys in their 30s. I became more depressed and finally realized that if I wanted to do something about my desire to have biological kids, to see little quirks of myself reflected in my kids in a way that could only be described by biology, I needed to act now. So I sat my then girlfriend down and said this was what I was struggling with. She tried to shame me by saying this was me having a midlife crisis and that I've used up her time and owe her, even calling me narcissistic for not wanting to adopt when nearly all parents try for biological kids before adopting. I'm letting her stay in my vacation house for a month so she can find her own place. The whole time she's telling everybody I'm crazy and will wake up and am I the a-hole for changing my mind when my girlfriend is acting like I don't get to change my mind. 25 years with somebody and not have any kind of backup plan is wild to me. For the people that say that marriage is just a piece of paper, think about this woman, been with this man for 25 years, has no income, has no retirement, and now she is getting to stay in his vacation home for a month. She has no plan B and she is in her mid 50s. She should be winding down her career and getting ready to retire. But this is her life because this man decided to break up with her because he, like, like, somebody that just forgot something. We all get old. Unless you die young, we're all getting old. And I don't know what it is about these supposed leaders who have no foresight about life. Like this commenter said, you are the a-hole. You're the hugest A ever. She spent her life with you waiting for the time to be right while it was never for you. Now that you're old enough to be a grandpa, you've decided you want kids. And the woman who loved you for half of her life suddenly isn't good enough. I feel truly sorry for her. You've ruined her life and you don't even care because it's all about you and your freaking sperm. And I do understand that she had agency. She did put her life in this man's hands, especially with the fact that she quit to volunteer. She put her life in his hands, and now she has nothing to show for it. So this is the reason why women have got to have some wits about them when it comes to love. Love can be a thing, but you have to have some kind of self-preservation about yourself. Like this person says, this is an actual nightmare. 25 years of her life wasted. He just discards her like nothing. She gave up motherhood for him and sold her plasma. I'm so sad for her. This feels honestly evil. Not to mention, she has absolutely nothing in her name. He took her motherhood, her best years, her career, her money when he didn't have some, her retirement plan, and is leaving her with nothing. Chances high she's ending up under a bridge because she has no job, no money, no children who would take her, no experiences, no bank who would loan her something, no nothing. He seems to feel insulted by her claiming he's just having a midlife crisis and lost her mind, not realizing that this is the most presentable explanation for what's going on. In reality, he's a heartless, blood-sucking vampire, gold digger who squeezed everything possible out of his loving girlfriend of 25 years, just to throw her into the trash as soon as she reached an age. She can't regain what she was missing out on because of the OP, just to head up enjoying everything his girlfriend sacrificed for him. This is literally my point, and why women have got to have some self-preservation. Stop giving to these people who would just discard you, throw you out like you did nothing. This woman was there with him, and I know that people only quantify what is in the bank account, but she supported him for 25 years. She was doing something. She was doing the unpaid labor that women do. And I hate this for her, but this is the reason why, ladies, it does not do us any good to put our whole future in the hands of men. Yeah, I'm worked up this morning. You guys jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, share.